This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. It's been a very busy weekend of racing action, and we are going to pick things up at Monmouth Park, where they had a great weekend of racing. We're going to head back to Saturday in the running of the Colleen for 2-year-old fillies going 5.5. Let's head to the Jersey Shore, the running of the Colleen.
Racing in the Colleen. Livermore Valley broke well, so did 10 Halos and Miss McPunch on the inside, and Pure Disco's up there too. In the back earlier, Fantast and Winning Toast is last. The favorite racing about 3 lengths off the lead as they head up the backstretch. It's Miss McPunch in front, Pure Disco. Fantast comes through on the inside now, and there goes Winning Toast to be a part of the pace, and Winning Toast has found a good spot, 3 wide, and heads up after the lead as they run by a quarter in 22 seconds flat. Winning Toast has gone from last to first already and leads into the far turn by 3/4 of a length to Fantast and Livermore Valley, who's moving 3 wide. Miss McPunch drops back. 10 Halos is starting to gather momentum, and far behind is Pure Disco. They're into the stretch, and Livermore Valley goes up on the outside to take the lead. Fantast has moved into second. Winning Toast has nothing left, and 10 Halos is closing on the far outside, but Livermore Valley is pouring it on now. And Aaron Grider and Livermore Valley are finishing very impressively here and winning the Colleen by 5. 10 Halos was second, then came Fantast and Miss McPunch in 1:04.2.
Livermore Valley picking up the victory under Aaron Grider from off the pace. A very nice move for a 2-year-old filly to draw clear by 2.5 from 10 Halos and Fantast, who did chase the pace early after being in close early, and held on well for the 3rd spot. I thought she had a little bit of traffic trouble, but she did run a fairly solid 3rd. The winner of Livermore Valley is a dark Bayer Brown 2-year-old daughter of Mount Livermore from Secret Prospector by Allen's Prospect. Bred in Maryland by Robert Hahn, owned by Conover Stable, trained by Jim Ryerson, ridden to victory by Aaron Grider. Livermore Valley runs the 5.5 at Monmouth in 1:04 flat. The big day this weekend at Monmouth, of course, was on Sunday, and we're going to begin the stakes program with the running of the Lamplighter, a $100,000 mile on the turf. Let's head to Jersey and the running of the Lamplighter.
They're racing in the Lamplighter. Touched by Madness goes right to the front from the far outside post. Dr. Voodoo's away running in second. Then it's American Eyes, followed by Springhouse and Network, and they'll sit off the pace. They're 6 lengths behind the front runner and right together. It's another 5.5 back to Shootout, who trails the field, and the leader is Touched by Madness into the first turn. Prompted by Dr. Voodoo, who's a 1.5 behind, and they ran a quarter in 23.2. American Eyes is in third, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Another 2.5 to Springhouse and Network, who continue to keep each other company, and they're 4.5 in front of Shootout, who trails the field. They're on to the backstretch in the Lamplighter in pursuit of Touched by Madness. The favorite leads by a length. Dr. Voodoo second by 2.5. American Eyes third. Springhouse starting to get away from Network now. Springhouse is 5 lengths off the lead. Network's dropped back 8 from the pace, and Shootout trails. A 47 flat half mile. Into the far turn, Touched by Madness. Been there all the way. Dr. Voodoo second throughout. Springhouse is starting to get involved now. Aaron Grider and Springhouse edging up to the front runners and getting an inside trip. Network still 6 lengths behind. They're at the top of the stretch. Touched by Madness. Frankie Pennington looking around. Here comes Aaron Grider and Springhouse on the outside. Then Dr. Voodoo and Network trying to get through down at the rail. He's got late run. Touched by Madness still there. Springhouse on the outside. Network at the rail. Here comes Network on the inside, and he's going to get up. Network is up in time to win the Lamplighter over Touched by Madness, and Springhouse was third.
Network getting the victory under Javier Castellano by a game half length from off the pace, running down pace setter Touched by Madness. Springhouse rated back off the hedge and picked up the 3rd spot with an off the pace move. The winner, Network, is a 3-year-old Bay Gelding, a son of Pulpit from Broadcast by Broad Brush, bred in Kentucky by Mrs. Adele Schneider, owned by Eddie Broom, trained by Eddie Broom, and ridden to victory by Javier Castellano. Network covers the mile at Monmouth Park in 1:35.4. We're going to head right back down to New Jersey now in the running of the Teddy Drone for older sprinters going 6 furlongs. Let's head back to Jersey, the running of the Teddy Drone.
They're racing in the Teddy Drone. Wildcat Air broke out on top. Wars Prospect is out with speed, and then Forest Park on the inside. Tuscany on the far outside is Provident Early. Then Judas Wild Rush, Salt Silence, Gaddis's Kamsa, and the trailer is Frisky Spider. Up the backstretch, and it's Wars Prospect going at it early with Tuscany, and they're flying along through a 1:4:21 flat. These two right together, 3.5 clear of Wildcat Air. Then it's another 2.5 to Forest Park. Judas Wild Rush is racing 6 lengths off the lead. Then Gaddis's Kamsa. Something's gone awry with Salt Silence, who's pulled up. And then Frisky Spider around the far turn. And Tuscany's ahead of Wars Prospect. Wildcat Air is right there after a half mile in 43.3. They're into the stretch, and here comes Wildcat Air. He's making his move right now, and he's taken the lead. He has gone by Tuscany. Judas Wild Rush is starting to finish well on the outside, but Wildcat Air, wow! He's opened up by 6. Judas Wild Rush second, Forest Park third. They're coming to the wire, and it's Wildcat Air and Stuart Elliott on top in 1:08.2. Looked like Forest Park was second under the wire to Judas Wild Rush.
Wildcat Air returns yet again now at the age of 5 and once again runs him down in New Jersey. This guy is a very, very talented sprinter. Unfortunately, his career has had a lot of stops and starts. As the favorite, he kicks clear by almost 6 over Forest Park, with Judas Wild Rush picking up the 3rd spot after tracking the pace early. The winner, Wildcat Air, is a 5-year-old bay son of Forest Wildcat from Penniless Heiress by Pentelicus. Bred by the New Farm in Florida and owned by the breeder, trained by Ben Perkins Jr. and ridden to victory by Stu Elliott. Wildcat Air covers the 6 furlongs at Monmouth in 1:08.2. Next up, the Lady's Secret for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, going 1 mile and a 16th. Let's head back to Jersey in the running of the Lady's Secret.
They're racing in the Lady's Secret. Free Eye had the best start. There goes City Fire up and after the lead, and these two will vie for the front with La Reason just off of them. Then Twist and Pop and Silmaril, followed by Grinch and Plata in the race to the first turn. After that, it's Hobby Boo's not far behind, but caught wide there is Hobby Boo. She's about 6 lengths off the lead. Then Freels for Real, Tattinger Rose is near the back early, and Diavola is the trailer. It's Free Eye out in front here, in front by 2 over City Fire on the first turn. Then La Reason to the outside. They ran a 1:23.4. Plata 4th and well out into the track, 2 lengths off the lead. Then Twist and Pop, Silmaril, Grinch to the outside of them. Hobby Boo's got 6 to make up. Then Tattinger Rose, Freels for Real, and Diavola is last of all in 12 lengths off the lead. Halfway up the backstretch, they ran a half in 47.4, and Krista Carlo and Free Eye have been there all the way. They're in front at the half-mile pole. La Reason, City Fire, and on the far outside, it is Plata right there in contention. Twist and Pop is getting through at the rail as City Fire drops back. Then Silmaril, Grinch, Hobby Boo circling up on the far outside, and she's coming with a rush now. Tattinger Rose still has about 7 lengths to make up. She's trying to gain ground. Diavola's outside of her, and then comes Freels for Real. 3/4 in 1:12.1. They're into the stretch, and Hobby Boo has circled up on the outside to take the lead. Plot is going with her, and here comes Diavola on the far outside, and she's finishing with La Reason. And Freels for Real, who is last, is flying on the far outside with Tattinger Rose. It's a wide open finish. It's La Reason, Diavola, Freels for Real on the outside. Here's the wire. Freels for Real got up in the last stride, ran down Diavola and La Reason, and then it was Tattinger Rose.
Freels for Real. She ran a few races in New York over the wintertime, and she's been finding herself in fairly deep against some pretty good graded stakes company in New York and out of town. Here heading into New Jersey from her mid-Atlantic base to win by a half at 9-1 off the pace, rallying move over Diavola, who also moved beautifully from off the pace as the longest shot on the board at almost 60-1 to finish second. La Reason, 4-1 mid-priced horse in here, did sit a perfect stalking trip, did have a little bit of trouble into the lane and was out finished late. The winner, Freels for Real, is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown daughter of sword dance from Beatties for Real by Unreal Seal. Bred in Florida by Gilbert Campbell and owned by the breeder, trained by Ned Allard, and ridden to victory by Stu Elliott. Freels for Real completes the mile in a 16th at Monmouth in 1:45 flat. We're going to head right back down to New Jersey now in Grade 3 company in the Oceanport, $150,000 mile in a 16th. Let's head to Jersey, the running of the Oceanport.
Racing in the Oceanport. Stormy Ray bumped with Tam's Terms at the break. Hot Stuff and Then Some is going to the front with Cottage on the outside away well. Up the rail comes Spruce Run, and these three will vie for the front. It's a length and a half, two on the inside, GP Fleet and I Caramba, and then it's Tam's Terms, followed by a ground saving Everything to Gain. Stormy Roman and Stormy Ray are in the back early as they race for the clubhouse turn. Spruce Run ran a quarter in 24 and 4, leads the way by a half length. To the outside, Hot Stuff and Then Some is running in second. Then it's Cottage, GP Fleet, fourth down at the rail. Then I Caramba, a bottled up Everything to Gain, has 5 lengths to make up. Tam's Terms outside of him, Stormy Roman and Stormy Ray. Cottage takes over on the backstretch, leads by a head after a 24 and 4 quarter. They go by a half in 49 and 1/5 seconds. And Hot Stuff and Then Some and Spruce Run are hanging in there. 3 of them across the track up the backstretch. It's another 3.5 to I Caramba. GP Fleet on the inside right there. Then Tam's Terms. Everything to Gain's got 6 to make up along the rail. Stormy Roman is second last and Stormy Ray trails. Around the far turn, Hot Stuff and Then Some. Spruce Run to the inside. Cottage and I Caramba just off of them. GP Fleet 5 lengths to make up down on the rail. Everything to Gain is yet to rally. Then Stormy Roman, Tam's Terms and Stormy Ray, and they're into the stretch. And it's Hot Stuff and Then Some. In front by a length, I Caramba. Under a confident Gary Stevens moving alongside. Now Everything to Gain is rushing up along the rail. Everything to Gain kicks it in late with GP Fleet, and they are coming to the wire, and it's going to be I Caramba under a hand ride, an impressive win. And it was Hot Stuff and Then Some second. Then a photo for third among Stormy Roman, GP Fleet, and Everything to Gain.
I Caramba with a nice victory here from off the pace, 3/4 of a length as the 4 to 1/3 choice in the wagering for Bobby Frankel. This guy had found himself in against some pretty nice graded stakes company, including a couple of tries up here at Saratoga last year. Bobby Frankel sent him out of town looking for a nice spot and found one here. Picking up the victory over Hot Stuff and Then Some with Stormy Roman rallying from far back in the 2-path to pick up the 3rd spot. Disappointing in here was GP Fleet, who was the favorite just over even money, just under 2 to 1 actually, and did sit in a perfect trip, but was just not quite good enough when the running got done late. The winner, I Caramba, a 5-year-old bay son of Roy Normand from One for the Road by Gadir, was bred in Brazil by Aristotle Vale, owned by Patricia Bozano, trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Gary Stevens. I Caramba covers the mile in a 16th on the Monmouth turf in 1:42 and 2. Next up, we're going to head back into filly competition. Fillies and mares sprinting in the Regret, going 6 furlongs. Let's head back to Jersey, the running of the Regret.
They're racing in the Regret. Pretty imposing. Rockets out of the gate and goes straight to the early lead. And then it's Travelator, French Village, Whoopee Cat. On the far outside is Silver Bird, and they're followed at the rail by Arik. My Trusty Cat is racing about 7 lengths off the lead early, and Saurus is way behind through the first quarter of a mile. Pretty imposing, pretty fast here, opening up 5, ran a 21 and 1 first quarter. Then it's French Village running in second, Travelator third to the inside, followed by a well-held Silver Bird 3 wide. Arik is underway outside of Whoopee Cat. Now Saurus has been taken to the rail and is trying to gain ground, still in the back of the pack with My Trusty Cat. At the quarter pole, Pretty Imposing ran a half in 43 and 4 and turns for home with a 6-length lead. At the top of the stretch, Silver Bird is second, then Travelator, Arik, and on the far outside, My Trusty Cat is trying to get going. Now Pretty Imposing is really starting to tire, and here comes My Trusty Cat on the far outside with Silver Bird and Arik between those two. Arik, My Trusty Cat, Arik won it over My Trusty Cat and Silver Bird.
An 8-1 outsider, Arik, picking up the victory after an unhurried mid-pack trip, rallying nicely to win by a head over My Trusty Cat, the 2-1 choice. Silver Bird, 24-1 long shot on the outside, picking up the third spot with a pretty solid effort just off the pace. The winner, Arik, spending some time in New York over the springtime, having run through allowance conditions and finding a little bit softer spot than perhaps the Honorable Miss the same weekend at Saratoga, heads out of town to pick up stakes credentials. She is a dark bay or brown 4-year-old daughter of Deputy Minister from Aljauza by Riverman, bred in Kentucky by Shadwell Stable, owned by the breeder and trained by Mark Hennig, ridden to victory by Jose Velez. Arik covers the 6 furlongs in 1 minute 10 flat. We're going to head back onto the turf course now for the TaylorMade Matchmaker Stakes. This is for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares at 1 1/8 miles. Let's head back down to New Jersey, the running of the TaylorMade Matchmaker.
All in line. Racing in the TaylorMade Matchmaker, and off to a good start. Emerald Earrings had the best beginning. Emerald Earrings goes out to the early lead. Alongside is Cat Alert, and these two have the most early speed, and they're joined on the inside by Love Match now. And Love Match comes on through to fight for the front as they race by the stands. Love Match on the inside now garners the lead by a neck. Cat Alert is running in second, a length and a half back to Topiary in third, then Emerald Earrings to the outside. Behind them is Smart and Classy, and right there too is Spotlight. The favorite Spotlight's in mid-pack as they head toward that first turn, and she's racing about 5 lengths off the lead. Humoristic and Brivieska next. Noble Stella is second last, and Classic Staff is trailing the field as Love Match leads the way. She's 27-1 and ran a quarter in 24 flat, and Love Match leads by 2. Cat Alert second by a length. Then it's Topiary, Emerald Earrings on the far outside, and Spotlight just went up between those two. Still well held at this stage, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Smart and Classy on the far outside. She's got about 4 to make up. Brivieska next, Noble Stella down toward the inside, Humoristic, and Classic Stamp continues to run in the back. Not much pace on here. They went a half in 50 and 1/5 seconds. Love Match setting this slow pace in front by a length. Cat Alert second as they move into the turn. Emerald Earrings in a perfect stalking spot, third on the outside if she's good enough. Topiary is down at the rail in fourth. Then it's Smart and Classy. Spotlight pushed along about 3 lengths off the lead. Brivieska just had to check there. She checked pretty hard as they come to the top of the stretch in the TaylorMade Matchmaker, and it is still Love Match, and she's in front by 2 with Emerald Earrings in pursuit on the outside. Then it's Cat Alert in third. Spotlight hasn't picked it up yet. She's behind horses Smart and Classy and Topiary. Love Match still there. Love Match holding on to the lead, and it's Love Match in the TaylorMade Matchmaker by a length and a half on the wire. Cat Alert was second. It's close for third between Emerald Earrings and Spotlight.
Love Match, an ironic name for the winner here in this race, picking up the victory, and a nice victory at a long price. Love Match at 27-1, setting the pace every step of the way under Javier Castellano. Chased by Cat Alert and Emerald Earrings throughout the running. Neither of those two able to make up much ground. The favorite in the field was Spotlight, who did settle for fourth. She too made up very little ground during the running of this race. The pace was leisurely. They were able to get away with easy fractions, and they pretty much ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right around the racetrack. The winner, Love Match, is a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Partners Hero from For Love Alone by L'Angélure, bred in Maryland by Anne Wren Polson and Hare Forest Farm, owned by Ann Polson. Trained by John Kimmel and ridden to victory by Javier Castellano, Love Match covers the mile and an eighth on the Monmouth turf in 1:50-1. Next up, the big event of the day on Sunday at Monmouth Park, of course, the Invitational, the Haskell Invitational, Grade 1, $1 million for the 3-year-olds. Let's head back to New Jersey, the running of the Haskell.
Start. They're off in the Haskell to the roar of the Monmouth Park crowd, and it's Park Avenue Ball, and he goes right to the front, and there goes Sun King right alongside, and Sun King and Park Avenue Ball are 1-2, and Joey P's gonna lay just off them. He's running in third, a length and a half off the lead. Then it's Roman Ruler and Poppy Chulo to the inside. Palladio and Chekhov do their running in the back early, and Sun King has now made the front as Joey P moves up a spot outside of Park Avenue Ball. He's down at the rail. The first quarter, 23 2/5 seconds. It's a decent pace. They're not flying, but they're moving right along. Jerry Bailey's got Roman Ruler 3 lengths off the lead and well held early. 2.5 to Papi Chulo. And then Palladio, who's second last, and he's racing 7 lengths from the front. Chekhov is 10 lengths off the lead with 5 furlongs to run. A half mile, 47-3. And that half set by Sun King. Sun King is in front, 3/4 of a length to Joey P. Park Avenue Ball is down at the rail, and Roman Ruler's right alongside of him in the orange colors, 2 lengths off the lead. Papi Chulo's getting pumped on back there in 5th. He's got 5 to make up. Palladio is just inside of him, and then comes Chekhov. They're rounding the far turn, and Sun King to catch. Joey P is right there. Roman Ruler 3 wide. It's 2 to Park Avenue Ball. He's 4th. And Chris DiCarlo wants more from him at the quarter pole. He's starting to give it. Chekhov has rallied up into 5th. They've run 3/4 in 1:11-3. They're into the stretch. Sun King and Roman Ruler, and they're right next to each other coming to the 8th pole. Park Avenue Ball is 3rd. He's trying to catch them. It's Sun King and Roman Ruler locked in battle. Park Avenue Ball 3rd. Roman Ruler getting away from Sun King. Then Park Avenue Ball. Roman Ruler and Jerry Bailey have won the Haskell by a length and a half over Sun King. Park Avenue Ball was 3rd. Then came Chekhov, followed by Palladio, Papi Chulo, and Joey P. in a final time of 1:49-4.
Roman Ruler putting away Sun King in the shadow of the wire. Sun King, not really a speedball type of horse, but he does have enough gate speed to get him into the lead on many occasions, as we've seen in the past. And here he did fall to the lead. Roman Ruler sat just off the pace in a fairly close position, about 3 wide on the far turn. Dueled with Sun King for about a furlong or so, put that one away, and drew clear for a 1.25 length victory as the favorite, just over even money. Sun King running well to finish 2nd. Park Avenue Ball He's had a chasing trip throughout after breaking a little bit outwardly. Did straighten out nicely under Chris DiCarlo for a solid 3rd place finish. The winner, Roman Ruler, a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old son of Fusaichi Pegasus from Silvery Swan by Silver Deputy, making him a half to El Corredor. Was bred in Kentucky by Needham Betts Thoroughbreds, Liberation Farm in Ashford Stud. He's owned by Fog City Stable and trained by Bob Baffert, picking up his 3rd victory in the Haskell in the last 5 years. Bob Baffert had Jerry Bailey named to ride. Roman Ruler covers the mile in an 1/8 at Monmouth in 1:49-4. We are going to pause now for a brief commercial message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at some stakes races from out of town, around the Midwest, and then heading to the West Coast. Please stay with us.
nybreads.com, the online home of North America's best incentive program. The latest news, updated throughout the day, plus streaming video of New York bred stakes winners. Check out the New York bred leaderboards for jockeys, trainers, owners, and breeders. Want to become an owner or breeder? Well, the New York Thoroughbred Breeders section tells you about upcoming new owner seminars and farm tours. You'll even find an online sales section with horses you can purchase right now. There's a directory of New York State farms, a stallion registry, plus up-to-date sales information complete with hip numbers and pedigree pages. Thinking of breeding your mare? First go to nybreads.com and run a hypothetical mating with any registered New York-based stallion. And finally at nybreads.com, you'll see why the New York Breeding and Racing Program is North America's best, with over $40 million a year in purses, incentives, and awards. So get with the program at nybreads.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action out of town, heading to Philadelphia Park, where on Saturday they ran the Larry Riviello President's Cup for 3-year-olds and up, 1 mile and 70 yards for $100,000. Let's head to Philadelphia and the President's Cup.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Larry Riviello President's Cup. And all 4 of them break together. Tanny Moreau is down at the rail. Russian Bay is in between horses. Legal Control is out there in the 3 path. And Letterman's Humor caught widest of the group as they make their way now into the first turn. Tony Baru at the inside. From the outside now it's Letterman's Humor. And Tony Black is going to send Letterman's Humor to the front. But Tony Baru will stay right there at the inside. Those two are stride for stride now as they go on to the back stretch. The opening quarter was a very solid 22-4. Russian Bay is now settled back into the 3rd spot and sitting about 2.5 lengths off of the 2 dueling front runners. And to the outside of Russian Bay sits Legal Control. He is in the clear and just loping along there back in the 4th position. They approach the half-mile pole, and the battle up front continues between Tanny Maru and Letterman's Humor. Those two go by the half-mile pole. The opening half was 46-3, and Letterman's Humor hounding Tanny Maru to the far turn, and now Tanny Maru seems to be getting the better of Letterman's Humor. 3 furlongs to go. It's Tanny Maru now buying a full length. Letterman's Humor beginning to come under a ride second. Russian Bay and Legal Control have not fired. Those two are still together at the back of the pack, and neither is making up ground on the top two as they approach the top of the stretch. It's Tanny Maru's race to win or lose here. Tanny Maru cuts the corner and gets clear of Letterman's Humor. Just 1 furlong to go, and Tanny Maru set down for the drive and now drawing clear. Tanny Maru by 4. Letterman's Humor did not match strides with him late. Russian Bay at this point is a distant third, but Tanny Maru just pouring it on here through the final furlong, and Tanny Maru comes striding home a convincing 8-length winner. Letterman's Humor was second best. Russian Bay was third.
Short field, number of horses that were cross-entered in New York as well, and Tanny Maru kicks clear easily by 9 3/4 lengths as the favorite over Letterman's Humor, who chased every step of the way. Talk about running 1, 2, 3, 4 every step of the way. No changes in the order of the finish here. Russian Bay settling for third. Legal Control finishing up the field. The winner, Tanny Maru, did spend the winter time in New York. In fact, running well all winter time against pretty good company in New York, stepping out of town to pick up stakes credentials. He is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown son of Cherokee Run from Bullville Bell by Holy Bull. Bred in Florida by Carolyn von Rosenberg, DVM, and owned by Donald and Adam Newman, trained by Tommy Bush, and ridden to victory by Harry Vega. Tanny Maru covers the mile in 70 at Philadelphia in 1:43.4. We're going to head to Chicago next, onto that turf course at Arlington Park, which is going to be so busy in the coming weeks. C.O. Aaron Breeders' Cup Mile on Saturday, a mile on the turf. Let's head to Chicago and the running of the C.O. Aaron.
They're off racing in the C.O. Aaron Breeders' Cup Mile. Old Deuteronomy with a brilliant break. Here's Gondolieri flashing plenty of pace. Mr. Maybe has come up to be third. Then Fort Prado and Remind. Last of 5 as they make their way into this first turn. It's Gondolieri, and at the rail, Old Deuteronomy running second, only a length behind, and at the heels of that speed. Then 2 more to Mr. Maybe, a length away to the gray Fort Prado, and the 3 wide Remind, last of them all. The opening quarter, 23-4. Roman Chapa and Gondolieri a length in front of Shane Laviolette and Old Deuteronomy at those long odds. On the outside, Mr. Maybe kept close by Carlos Silva. Eddie Razzo Jr. has Fort Prado in the clear and well spotted 4th. And then 2 more to Shawmbridge Rahan and Remind while ground saving. Last of 5 and 5 from Gondolieri. Half mile, 46-4, under a half mile to go. It's Gondolieri, and now Old Deuteronomy having a go at Gondolieri. Old Deuteronomy and Gondolieri on even terms as they round this far turn. Mr. Maybe being driven to challenge. Fort Prado is down inside. Fort Prado right in back of the front pair, and Remind is last and being driven as they come past the quarter pole. 3/4, 1:11.1, and it's Old Deuteronomy off the turn into the final furlong of the C.O. Aaron Breeders' Cup Mile. Old Deuteronomy, and here's Fort Prado. Fort Prado with a resolute run as they come past the 16th pole. Gondolieri, Remind, and Mr. Maybe down toward the wire. It is Fort Prado, the Illinois bred, home in front in the C.O. Aaron Breeders' Cup Mile from Old Deuteronomy, clear of Remind, Gondolieri, and Mr. Maybe in 1:36 flat.
Fort Prado and Eddie Razzo picking up a victory here as the second choice in the wagering. The favorite rallying from off the pace into the third spot was Remind. Old Deuteronomy splitting those after stalking the pace throughout the early part of the race. The winner, Fort Prado, a gray or roan 4-year-old son of El Prado from Fort Pond by Fortunate Prospect, was bred in Illinois by David P. Block, owned by Team Block Stable and trained by Chris Block, a family affair. Ridden to victory by Eddie Razzo. Fort Prado covers the mile at Arlington in 1:36 flat. We're going to head out to the West Coast now for stakes racing action from Southern California, beginning with the Saturday Stakes feature at Del Mar, the Sorrento for 2-year-old fillies going 6.5 furlongs. Let's head to California, the running of the Sorrento.
Sorrento Stakes. And away they go. On the far side, Indian Breeze began very smartly. Tiger on the loose in the black at the rail. Bully Bones extreme outside. Hysterical Lady one from the rail, and Diplomat Lady in the red. 5 of them all lining up on the lead here. 4 back to Slick Road in the 5th position. Up alongside of that comes Noriska number 1. Acceleration at the back of the leading group is 8 off the leaders, and a long, long way back to I Can See. Half mile to go, and Diplomat Lady's in front. Tiger on the loose down at the rail. Hysterical Lady between them. Bully Bones in the pink on the outside. Indian Breeze losing ground, having to be ridden along now. Indian Breeze drops back. Then we drop back to Slick Road, who's 7 off the leaders. On the outside, Noriska number 1. They come into the quarter pole. Bully Bones on the outside. Bully Bones kicks on for home. Diplomat Lady between them. Tiger on the loose at the rail. Hysterical Lady's dropped ground, and Indian Breeze, something wrong. She's gone. Running on late Acceleration. And here comes Acceleration. Acceleration. Green sleeve, centre the track, coming at Bully Bones. But Acceleration is coming 3 to their 1 as they come to the 16th. Bully Bones tough on the lead. Acceleration catching now. Bully Bones tries to hang on, and Bully Bones all hot. Acceleration can't get her. Bully Bones wins it to Acceleration. Close for 3rd, Slick Road or Diplomat Lady.
Bully Bones, the 4-to-1 third choice in the wagering, picking up the win. It's a very nice trip right near the pace. She dueled it out early. The fractions were fast for 2-year-old fillies. Was involved right there and ended up settling for a nice victory as Acceleration came to her, made a very big bid late, but she was able to hold her off. Slick Road from back off the pace at 41-to-1, the second longest shot on the board, finishing in the 3rd spot. The favorite, Indian Breeze, a little bit disappointing in here. She was involved in that duel, fell back, and it does appear that Tyler Bay is wrapped up on her when it was quite obvious that she was not going to go on with it. The winner, Bully Bones, is a 2-year-old chestnut daughter of He's a Bull from Anniversary Wish by Bose Eagle, bred in Florida by the Meadowbrook Farms Incorporated, owned by Jean and Lolly Anderson and Meadowbrook Farms et al., trained by David LaCroix, and ridden to victory by Renee Douglas. Bully Bones covers the 6.5 furlongs in 1:17 and 1. We're going to head right back to California for Sunday's stakes feature, the Clement L. Hirsch, a Grade 2 $300,000 Mile Anna 16th for fillies. Let's head back to California, the running of the Clement Hirsch.
Goes in this time. All set again now for the Clement L. Hirsch. And away they go. In the center, we have Alphabet Kisses away quickest. On the outside, Muir Beach, Valentine Dancer going up 2nd, and Star Parade in the white cap at the rail showing good speed too. Girl Warrior tucking in just behind the leaders with Muir Beach alongside of her. Those 5s, only 4 lengths separates them. Then we come back to Tucked Away, Santa Candida, and at the back is Hollywood Story, 9 off the leader. They go past the 3/4 pole, and Alphabet Kisses going along a strong pace, leads it by just over a length to Valentine Dancer. Star Parade tucked in neatly in 3rd. Been followed then by Girl Warrior, and Muir Beach is 4.5 off the leaders. Then there's a gap of 5 lengths further back to Tucked Away. Then comes Hollywood Story, who's second last, and Santa Candida now 12 off the leader. A half mile to go in the Clement Hirsch now. It's still Alphabet Kisses showing the way with Valentine Dancer keeping the pressure on from 2nd. Star Parade is right there in 3rd. Then back to Muir Beach. Girl Warrior now has 6 to make up. 3 more further back from that. We have Tucked Away. Hollywood Stories 9 lengths off the leaders, and then Santa Candida coming to the top of the lane now, and it's still Alphabet Kisses taken on here by Valentine Dancer. Star Parade is next, and Hollywood Story running on the extreme outside. Tucked Away getting involved late too. Homeward bound now. Valentine Dancer goes on. Alphabet Kisses does not. In the center, Hollywood Story. Star Parade in the white cap, and Tucked Away. Tucked Away coming home gamely at Valentine Dancer. Tucked Away going better than Valentine Dancer. Strikes the front. Here's Hollywood Story on the outside. Hollywood Story. It's close, but it'll go to Tucked Away. Tucked Away, Hollywood Story. Close for 3rd. Maybe Valentine Dancer or a fast closing Santa Candida.
Tucked Away picking up the victory here. A nice effort at 19-to-1 by a nose. Very game win over Hollywood Story, who's just not quite as good away from Hollywood Park as she is at her favorite racetrack. She too rallied beautifully to pick up the 2nd spot. Valentine Dancer, always involved right from the start, settling for the third spot after tracking the early pace setter, the 3-to-1 second choice, Alphabet Kisses, who did look like the horse who would be able to control the early pace. Alphabet Kisses off of an impressive win last time out, going short, stretches out disappointingly, finishing last in the field of 8. The winner, Tucked Away, is a dark Bayer Brown 5-year-old daughter of Unusual Heat from Chemolo by Be a Native. Bred in California by Madeline Auerbach and owned by Nico Nierenberg. Trained by Patrick Gallagher and ridden to victory by Alex Solis, Tucked Away completes the mile in his 16th at the Clement L. Hirsch in 1:42.4. We are going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we are going to have a look at the week's worth of stakes racing action from Saratoga. Please stay tuned.
And finally, in sports tonight, billboards in Kentucky, welcoming you to the horse capital of the world, New York. How's that? Well, it's a marketing campaign to get Kentuckians to rally behind their horse industry. Folks down in the bluegrass must be getting a little worried, a little squeamish, a little verklempt over the incredible achievements of thoroughbreds bred right here in New York. Hey, don't worry, Kentucky. At least you still have a Derby.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program just keeps getting bigger and better. In 2005, registered New York breds will compete for a record $45 million in purses and incentives. And speaking of records, last year, New York breds won 40 open stakes, including Funnyside in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. Funnyside has won! People from all walks of life, from all sports, are getting with the program. Shouldn't you?
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with Saratoga's Week 2. We're going to kick things off by going all the way back to last Monday and the running of the Bernard Baruch on the turf course, $150,000 Grade 2. Let's head to Saratoga, the running of the Bernard Baruch.
And they're off. Silver Tree off to a good start, so to Del Mar Show. Artie Schiller came away running third. Seeking Answers takes up a spot at the back of the pack early, along with America Alive. So it's Silver Tree who makes the early lead. Jerry Bailey, the lead established, has taken Silver Tree in hand immediately to get away with that slow first quarter as possible. On the inside, Del Mar Show. On the outside, Artie Schiller runs along in third. So Silver Tree dictating an easy pace here in the very early stages. Artie Schiller's been maneuvered to the outside, and then Del Mar Show eases off the pace a bit to run third. A break of 5 back to Seeking Answers, and another 3 back to America Alive. He was able to get through a quarter in 25 and 4/5 seconds, and up top, Silver Tree with that easy first quarter. Artie Schiller just a length behind him in second now, and Bailey gives Silver Tree a bit more rein to work with, now letting it out a notch to lead by a length and a half. Artie Schiller continues to chase second by another 3. The half was 50 seconds flat, which augurs very well for Silver Tree, the front runner. Artie Schiller second, 5 lengths back to Del Mar Show, another 6 to Seeking Answers, and another 5 back to America Live. 3 furlongs from the wire now, and Silver Tree's in full stride, driving to the quarter pole, leading Artie Schiller. Del Mar Show 3 lengths behind them, and Seeking Answers, and the field turns for home. It's Silver Tree at the top of the stretch, and now Bailey gets to work on him. Artie Schiller and Migliori's all over him, too. And those two driving past the 8th pole. Artie Schiller full of determination. Silver Tree all heart. Silver Tree, Artie Schiller. Those two streaking to the wire together. And it's going to be Artie Schiller. Artie Schiller with determination. A neck victor over Silver Tree. 5 lengths back to America Live third.
Artie Schiller getting the victory over a short field here. Just off the pace, and the pace was leisurely. Silver Tree cantering through the early fractions. Artie Schiller able to reach out and get him by the throat in the shadow of the wire by a half a length. Silver Tree holds on to second as America Alive tries to make that rallying move, but it's tough to do when they go out there in almost 26 seconds for the opening fraction. The winner, Artie Schiller, is a 4-year-old bay colt, a son of El Prado from Hidden Light by Majestic Light. Bred in Kentucky by R.S. Dumaseret, owned by Timber Bay Farm and Mrs. Thomas Walsh, trained by Jimmy Jerkins and ridden to victory by Richie Migliori. Artie Schiller covers the mile and an 1/8 on the Saratoga turf in 1:47 and 3. Next up, a pair of races from the New York Stallion Series, beginning with the Cab Calloway division, horses sired by registered New York Standing Stallions, $250,000 in the Cab Calloway for the 3-year-olds, going 1 1/8 miles. Let's head to Saratoga, the Cab Calloway.
They're off. Galloping Grocer off to a good start. Golden Roses to his outside, to his inside. Meniscus, who's under an aggressive ride early as they race into the first turn. And it's Galloping Grocer out for the lead. Golden Roses second on the outside. Meniscus kept close, running third. Organizer is now fourth. 2 outs in the 9th is fifth and in between horses. Western Galaxy is sixth at the rail. Breeze On trails the field as Galloping Grocer takes the field through the opening quarter mile in 22 4. A torrid opening quarter mile there by Galloping Grocer, who is under heavy pressure all the way around that turn by Golden Roses. Meniscus sits back running in third, and his mate Organizer is fourth. 2 outs in the 9th is fifth on the inside. Western Galaxy trying to take hold of this track, about 8 lengths from front running Galloping Grocer, 5 lengths back to the trailer Breeze On. The half goes in a grueling 46 3/5 seconds over the sloppy and sealed track. So they approach the half-mile pole. Galloping Grocer, Golden Roses, still 1-2 at the half-mile remaining. 2 outs in the 9th, moves 2 on the inside to be third. Meniscus alongside fourth. 5 lengths back to Organizer, Western Galaxy, and a long way back to the trailer Breeze On. There's less than 3 furlongs to go. They've run 3/4 of a mile in 1:11 3. Galloping Grocer and Golden Roses ratcheting up that pressure as they come to the top of the stretch. 7 lengths adrift is Meniscus third, and the field turns for home. Golden Roses. Edgar Prado took a peek back to see where the competition was, apparently not concerned with Galloping Grocer, who's now back to second. It is Golden Roses in front. Galloping Grocer 2.5 lengths behind now in second. A break of another 6 lengths back to Western Galaxy, who trudges on into third. But it's going to be Golden Roses. A 5-length winner here over Galloping Grocer. Western Galaxy was third.
Golden Roses coming off a second-place finish last time out against a front-running winner out at Finger Lakes in New York Bred Company. Here sits a perfect trip just behind Galloping Grocer and draws clear by 6 3/4 over Galloping Grocer, the favorite on the return off of Major Graded Stakes Company. Last time out disappointing in the Preakness. Good to see him getting back to the races and running a good one, though. He did run very well in his first start back off the Preakness, back to the scene of one of his biggest victories, his maiden win last summer up here at Saratoga. Very impressive, and it certainly is good that he is back in good form. 42 to 1 shot. Outsider Western Galaxy completes the trifecta. The winner, Golden Roses, is a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old gelded son of Gold Token from One Perfect Rose by Air Forbes 1, bred in New York by Seth Gregory and owned by Henry C. Gregory. Trained by Tommy Bush and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, Golden Roses covers the 1 1/8 miles at Saratoga in 1:53 flat. Next up, it's the New York Stallion Series Statue of Liberty division for 3-year-old fillies, once again sired by New York Stallions. Let's head back to Saratoga and the Statue of Liberty.
Now 1 second.
And they're off. Avery Hall hustled out of there. Avery Hall racing for the first turn with a narrow early lead. Karakoram Splendor runs in second, taking Dynamo Home a bit wide into the turn. Fountain's Princess gets a good spot in the early going, fourth down toward the inside. And then it's Stellar Maiden, Ms. Litigator at the back of the pack. Avery Hall under a very aggressive ride here by Tony Black, the leader by a length. Karakoram Splendor alongside second, 23 3, a tough opening quarter mile there for Avery Hall, the leader. Pressed by Karakoram Splendor, second by 2.5. Dynamo Hum, well held while running along in third. Fountain's Princess in hand in fourth. Stellar Maiden lingering at the back of the pack with Ms. Litigator. Racing up the backstretch run, Avery Hall and Karakoram Splendor edging a bit closer second, the half and 48 2. So they were able to slow that pace down a little bit in the early stages of the backstretch run. Avery Hall 3/4 of a length. On the outside, Karakoram Splendor pressing now at the half-mile pole. 2 lengths back, Dynamo Hum races in third. Fountain's Princess is fourth. And there goes Stellar Maiden now. Jorge Chavez puts her in a drive on the outside. Ms. Litigator trails the field but is within striking range of the leaders as they round the far turn, 3/4 and 14 flat. And now Karakoram Splendor has taken the lead. Karakoram Splendor in front. On the outside, Dynamo Hum. At the inside, Avery Hall. Fountains Princess taken to the outside for clear running. Ms. Litigator at the rail. Top of the stretch, Karakoram Splendor and Avery Hall. Avery Hall is tenacious. Avery Hall in front. Karakoram Splendor is second by another 3. Ms. Litigator and Fountains Princess coming down to the finish. Avery Hall and Karakoram Splendor. It's going to be a photo. Avery Hall, Karakoram Splendor. Photo finish. Ahead bob either way. And a tough break there for Avery Hall, who took a bad step about 10 strides from the wire. Very close. Avery Hall or Karakoram Splendor was close for third as well between Ms. Litigator and Fountains Princess.
Karakoram Splendor, I believe this is the biggest victory ever for the Karakoram operation, which is a partnership group that does a lot of good work, picking out some pretty nice horses at moderate prices, and this one picking up a big purse, $150,000 winner's share here for a nice, very successful operation. John Velasquez in the irons getting the nose victory over Avery Hall, who took a stutter step just inside the shadow of the wire. She really looked like she had it won. I don't know what happened, if it was a lead change, if it was just a little bit of a stumble step, but it was a stutter step that cost Avery Hall. Fountains Princess, a solid effort to finish third as the 27-to-1 outsider. Karakoram Splendor is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of AP Jet from Forest Garden by Woodman, bred in New York by GSB Racing and Breeding Stock Incorporated, owned by Karakoram Farm and trained by Jimmy Jerkins. Ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Karakoram Splendor runs the mile and an eighth at Saratoga in 1:53 and 4. We're going to head back now into Sprint Company with the Honorable Miss for 3 and up fillies and mares. This is a grade 2 on Friday's card. Let's head back to Friday, the running of the Honorable Miss.
And they're off. High Peaks, Forest Music, Umpatito all breaking well. Down toward the inside, it's Moltovita up the backstretch, and Forest Music is the quickest of them all. High Peaks runs in second. In between horses, Fortress Hill. Umpatito is also right there in the early mix. So too is Storm Minstrel and Moltovita. 5 lengths to Ebony Breeze, and Bank Audit trails the field. Forest Music has just run a quarter in a wicked 21 and 4. And Forest Music opens up 2 lengths on some very speedy fillies. Umpatito runs in second on the outside. Fortress Hill is third. Storm Minstrel is fourth. High Peaks wide and fading in fifth. And getting underway now, it's Ebony Breeze, about 7 lengths from the lead, followed by Moltovita. Bank Audit is last at the quarter pole. 44 and 2 is the half mile here by Forest Music. A wicked pace coming down to the final furlong, and she's still there by 4. Here comes Ebony Breeze trying to reel her in, but that lead is 4 lengths at the 16th pole. It is Forest Music in front. Johnny Velasquez working all the way down the wire to win it. Forest Music wins by 2. Ebony Breeze was second. Bank Audit came on to be third. She was beaten about 6 lengths, and Moltovita was fourth.
Very fast Forest Music. You may remember her from her 2-year-old season. She was hustled up into the Breeders' Cup a couple of years ago. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile had a rough time of it there. But this is a very, very fast filly, and when she is right, she's tough. She's recently been transferred into the barn of Steve Asmussen and has really developed into a very nice 4-year-old sprinting filly here. Kicks clear, able to open up 6 at the top of the stretch. Ebony Breeze was coming to get her late, but could not. She fell short by 2. Bank Audit also making that huge outside off the pace, rallying move way back off the early pace. I assume that both Jerry Bailey and Ramon Dominguez in the closing rolls assumed that Forest Music was going to come back. She didn't. She ran on beautifully through the stretch to pick up major stakes credentials here at Saratoga and head into the Ballerina later on this month. Forest Music is a Greyer-Roan 4-year-old daughter of Unbridled Song from Defer West by Gone West. She was bred in Kentucky by Twin Hopes Farm. Owned by the Stone Street Stable, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Forest Music completes the 6 furlongs at Saratoga in 1:10 flat. More sprinting fillies up next in the Grade 1 test on Saturday. This is a $250,000 7-furlong sprint for fillies. Let's head back to Saratoga and the running of the test.
They're in the gate, and they're off. Awkward start there for In the Gold, left 5 lengths behind the rest of the field. Leave Me Alone is racing for the early lead. And there goes Manalino with a rush. Madalena now up for a short lead. On the inside, Leave Me Alone. In between those two, Pomfret's is third. And then it's Hide and Chic, who's now running along in fourth. Sense of Style between horses, fifth. Lady Pegasus far outside, sixth. Aspen Tree is seventh. And AC Ducey holds her spot at the rail. She's eighth. And it's a long break back. It's almost 10 lengths back to win the gold, the trailer. And it's Leave Me Alone, the leader down the backstretch run. Through a quarter and 22 2/5 seconds. Madalena pressing her all the way. Pomfret sitting in behind them third. On the outside, Hide and Chic has asked for a bit more. She's 3 lengths from the lead, and she's fourth. Long shot Lady Pegasus is fifth and moving now on the outside. And she's followed by Aspen Tree now running in sixth. Sense of Style is tailed off to seventh. AC Ducey and In the Gold is beginning to hit her best stride, and she is really rolling on the far outside. And the field turns for home after a half in 45 2/5 seconds, and it is Kent DeSormo and Leave Me Alone driving on that lead, coming to the 8th pole, and they have turned back Madalena. The lead is 2.5 lengths with a furlong to go. Hide and Chic is third. In the Gold is fourth on the outside, but Leave Me Alone is leaving them behind. Leave Me Alone runs huge. Won by 7 lengths on the wire. Stablemates Hide and Chic and In the Gold were second and third. They were followed by Aspen Tree fourth and Madalena.
Leave Me Alone did leave them alone. She left them reeling. She broke out of the starting gate, showed her usual good early speed. Nobody was able to go with her. I have to assume that they all figured she'd come back. She certainly didn't, kicking clear by almost 8. Pick up the victory over Hide and Chic, the one of the early pace pressers. Stablemate In the Gold, who got off to a poor start. She just broke badly. I'm not sure exactly what happened, if she had trouble in the starting gate, but she came out of the gate a length or two behind the rest of the field. One of the few horses to make up any ground on that Saturday card, particularly sprinting, and the track that did seem to be very kind to horses running on the pace. So a nice effort by In the Gold under Gary Stevens despite a slow start. The winner, however, long gone, Leave Me Alone, a chestnut 3-year-old daughter of Bold Badgett from Fabulous Ballet by Moscow Ballet, was bred in California by the Old English Rancho Quinn and Pond, owned by Mitchell Ranch Limited and trained by Eric Krulak, ridden to victory by Kent DeSormo. Leave Me Alone covers the 7 furlongs at Saratoga in 1:22 3. Co-featured on Saratoga's stakes card on Saturday, of course, the Grade 1 $750,000 Whitney for older horses at 9 furlongs. Let's head back to Saratoga, the running of the Whitney.
And they're off. And it's Sir Shackleton who breaks on top. Commentator is there, and Edgar Prado is sending St. Liam early in between horses as they move into the first turn. And it's St. Liam who's up for a short lead. On the outside, Commentator, and Commentator now in front. Commentator is the early leader. St. Liam backs off a bit to sit second by 2. On the inside, Swing for the Fences runs in third. On the outside, Limehouse is now fourth. And then it's Sir Shackleton near the back of the pack of the early goings, running in 5th position, Euro Silver and Wiggins. Up the back stretch, and Commentator opens up 3 on St. Liam. Commentator, throat opening quarter in 23 2. St. Liam runs second by another 5. Swing for the Fences third by 3. Limehouse is running in 4th. All at the back of the pack are Euro Silver. Pollard's Vision, Jerry Bailey keeps him outside the competition. Sir Shackleton toward the inside, and the trailer is Wiggins. Into the far turn. Commentator has just run a dazzling half-mile here. 46 2/5 seconds. He's got a 5-length lead over St. Liam, and it's another 10 lengths back to Swing for the Fences. And then Limehouse and Sir Shackleton. They're moving toward the top of the stretch. Commentator holding on to that lead by 3, but St. Liam now begins to cut into it as they hit the top of the stretch. 3/4 by Commentator in 1:09 3, and St. Liam to the attack with 3/16 to go, but Gary Stevens has something left with Commentator. They're holding on grimly, trying to get it out for another furlong. St. Liam's in an all-out drive, but he's still a length and a half behind in second. Farther back, Swing for the Fences, down to the finish. Commentator, St. Liam surges. It's a photo that goes to Commentator. Commentator won it. Brilliantly ridden by Gary Stevens, defeating St. Liam by a head at the wire. Farther back, Sir Shackleton finished third, and finishing fourth was Swing for the Fences. A breakthrough victory in the Whitney here for Commentator.
Commentator, and certainly one of the best rides that Gary Stevens has put forth here at the meet. A terrific front-end ride. Did the right thing, opened up a big margin on these horses. Sometimes slowing the pace and letting other horses stay in the race is not the way to play it, and Commentator and Gary Stevens played it perfectly. St. Liam and Edgar Prado laying off the pace. Obviously, Edgar Prado had to assume that the horse in front was going to come back. He never did. Liam had to go and get him and just fell short by a neck in a very game effort. Sir Shackleton, well back, 9 lengths beaten by the top 2, finishing in the 3rd spot. The winner, Commentator, is a 4-year-old chestnut New York bred gelding, a son of Distorted Humor from Outsourced by Stormbird, was bred in New York by Michael Martinez, owned by Tracy Farmer and trained by Nick Zito. This guy zipped through his New York bred conditions, has been absolutely dominant just about every time he's been on the racetrack. This was certainly his biggest test, and I would say that he got an A in his biggest test thus far. Looks like he may now be heading into the Woodward this fall at Belmont Park. Commentator, ridden to victory by Gary Stevens, covers the 1 1/8 at Saratoga in 1:48.1. One more stakes feature to bring to you from the weekend at the Amsterdam for the 3-year-old sprinters going 6 furlongs, a grade 2. Let's head back to Saratoga. Sunday's running at the Amsterdam.
And they're off. Storm Surge on the inside. Middle Earth is in between horses. Going wild. There goes Gambler's Slew. And it's Gambler's Slew sent to the front. On the inside, Storm Surge and Going Wild battling away in between those two. Middle Earth is 3rd. Santana Strings is 4th. On the far outside, Silver Train races 5th, only about 5 lengths from the lead. Vicarage is 6th. Maddie's Line is 7th, and 5 lengths back to Social Probation. 21-4, a blistering first quarter here, and it's Storm Surge blazing the way around the far turn. Santana Strings turning up that pressure. 2nd, Silver Train is right there. 3rd, Vicarage is forced to go 4 wide. Middle Earth just in behind the lead, only 2 lengths from it. Down toward the inside, Going Wild is now back to 6th. Another 4 to Maddie's Tune. Social Probation now beginning to find his best stride, still with a lot to do as the field turns for home. The half went in 45 seconds flat. Santana Strings, Storm Surge, nip and tuck past the 8th pole. Silver Train is running in 3rd. Far outside, Social Probation, final 16th, and it is Santana Strings in front. Storm Surge, followed by Silver Train. Social Probation coming on fast. At the wire, it's Santana Strings. Social Probation came from a mile out of it to be 2nd. Silver Train was 3rd, and Storm Surge was 4th.
Santana Strings coming in from the Texas string of Steve Asmussen, who is one of the winningest, he is the winningest trainer in the game right now. And Santana Strings, a little bit of an outsider here, almost 10-1, getting a 3/4 length victory over the late charging Social Probation, who was absolutely flying through the stretch. Silver Train picking up the 3rd spot off a big victory last time out. The winner, Santana Strings, is a 3-year-old chestnut son of Wheaton from Smiling Santana by Prospectors Gamble. Bred in Florida by Says Who Thoroughbreds and owned by Millennium Farm, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden to victory by Ibar Koa. Santana Strings covers the 6 furlongs of the Amsterdam at Saratoga in 1:10 flat. That's going to wrap up a busy edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We hope you'll be able to join us next week as we look at stakes races from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great day or great week at the races.